Okay, so I'm at the airport. Turns out I have a 30-minute delay on my flight now. That's fine, as long as I can make my connection. It should land at the same time. I'm supposed to land at 5:30. We do have to be completely set up by 9 p.m. I'm not gonna stress out about it because I can't control that. One thing that is nice is that both of my suitcases are exactly 50 pounds. And I discovered that I can put a ton of stuff in here and it counts as a carry-on and it can fit in their overhead bin. So this is like extremely heavy. It's got my entire photo stand and my postcard stand in it. So that really saves me a lot of space in my suitcases. So I guess that's a small hack if you have a similar setup. Some of my friends say that all water tastes the same, and I think that they're insane. But they think that I am insane. They think that like purified water that has been refrigerated tastes the same as like water that is like lukewarm from a water fountain in the zoo. Like, that's like the most insane thing I've ever heard anyone say. I would rather be dehydrated the entire day than drink bad water. Okay, anyway. Well, we made it to LA, and I just called my Uber. It was $51 to go from LAX to the convention center. Usually I would take the flyaway bus, but I feel like $50 isn't too much for like a direct drive to the convention center. It is exactly 6 o'clock, so we have 2 hours to pick up our badge and set up. I think that's more than enough time. I'm not too worried about it. We made it to AX. It's 7 p.m., so we have 2 hours to put together our display, and it's gonna take about half of that, trust. Our display is very simple, very streamlined because I don't have that much stuff. Okay, it's because I made a mistake. Well, the thing is, Xiao told me that it was the same hotel that we stayed in as last time, and it was this one. Okay, we went to the wrong hotel. I tried to check in, and it's not this hotel. And I sent all of my packages to this hotel. Luckily, they received all my packages, but we're at the wrong place. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay, so this is the hotel we're supposed to be staying in. And this is the hotel where I sent all my packages. And they're both called, like, Marriott. Okay, so Levy said she would prepare sandwiches for us so we didn't have to buy overpriced convention food, but then there's also no vegetables on this entire sandwich.
Okay.
It's cheese, what is this? Tartar sauce?
Yeah. I was scared of carrying lettuce on the train.
You were afraid to take lettuce on the train. Please expand. Ohio.
비행기 됐을까? 비행기 잖아요.
It's 5 a.m. We are all set up for day one. Pretty painless. Looks pretty good. My first time doing this setup. I'm trying out self-serve because I don't want to deal with packing and finding all the prints that people want, since I think this convention might go pretty fast. I also made signage for everything because last time I cosplayed, I was wearing colored contacts and I realized I couldn't see anything. So I made signs to help people see. Every time I do a convention, right before it starts, I look around the hall and I'm like, there are so many artists here making insane stuff, basically the same fandoms. It is quite possible I don't make any sales, but then I'm always proven wrong, so I hope I'm proven wrong. My roommates woke up at 5 a.m., which means we probably got around 4 or 3 hours of sleep. Feeling okay, feeling alright. Might snap, but it's fine.
I started Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint because of you.
This is Tanner, one of my mentees.
This is my favorite picture of you.
Thank you. There's a lot of stuff in here. A brick wall. Thank you so much, dude. Ooh, which hat? This is a sketchbook. And a portrait. Wow. Thank you for the memes and the beautiful book and for being my student. Let's do a little bit of a morning update. It is 10:30. It is almost non-stop right now. And I think the stamp rally is helping a lot. Basically every other person who's coming by is wanting to be part of the stamp rally. And our stamps, our prices are really cute, so I don't blame them. One of my mentees came by again and gave me this. Thank you, Jen. This is so cute. Okay, so I realized I didn't bring any Kalis prints, so I got some from Pixel Imaging, which is the company that is calling ads during AX. I ordered it like a few hours ago, and they already delivered it. It's basically $2 per print, but if I sell 5 of them, we'll break even. So, we cope. Seeing as how I didn't have the full vial size, this looks pretty decent actually.
I do know flavor. Huh? This is the place.
This is?
This is the place.
Wait, for real?
Yeah. Look at that view.
Wow.
Actually pretty decent.
Wait, let me pull out my glasses.
How was your day one, Xiao?
So good. It's literally like my best day one ever.
Oh, same. Do you think it's because of the stamp rally?
I think so partially, but I also think there's less artists this year because no sharing allowed and same amount of table. So there's more, I guess, revenue going around. Seems like everyone was collectively doing well. Like my neighbor Lynn, Lynn always had a line. Even though I don't really have a line, but their line, when people get bored, they look over mine. So I was like, well, yay, keep going, the line's great.
Every day finding the entrance is a struggle. Every day we try a new entrance.
Yay!
And we cannot find it.
Well, this one looks like a nicer entrance. Oh,
It's an exit. So they've drawn red lines on the floor with tape to indicate how far back we're allowed to put our chairs and our merch. However, I feel like this side has so much more space than this side. Like the lines are extremely lopsided. They're using the columns?
Yeah.
Well, then they need to place the tables better. But I also just feel like it's too narrow in general. Like it's supposed to be wide enough to push a stretcher through or something, and it's definitely not. Okay, so I'm running low again on stuff. Especially, we sold out of these office postcards again. I really should be learning my lesson and bringing more. I brought like 53 of these to Anime Expo, and they sold out midday Friday. So I'm like... I formatted some really quickly in CSP, and I'm reordering like a bunch of postcards. They have free internet here, but it's really slow uploading. Okay, so our prints were delivered pretty quickly. But the good thing about Pixel Imaging is that they deliver it within a few hours, and also they're very helpful and receptive to helping, I guess. Seems like they kind of care about artists, so I appreciate that. They're very good at communicating. Drama in our booth because these prints keep disappearing, and like I can't tell if it's because they're getting sold so fast or if they're like literally just disappearing. I brought a ton of them, but I can't find them. So I ordered some more staples. This cost $6 for 100, and our friend is just showing us the Persona stamp rally. They made a real clock. Look at that shit. It's a real clock. Congrats, guys. Cool prize. There's only 25 every day, you know?
Every day.
Hold up.
Well, if you're wondering how my Saturday is going, it's basically just going to be spent cutting prints. And I just ordered 50 more of these because we ran out again. Yeah, Black Star just sold out again, even though I just restocked him yesterday. I didn't think Black Star was popular, but I guess it is. I think that the buy 3 get 1 small print deal is really appealing to this audience. And I have been thinking that it might be taking away from my large print sales, but I honestly don't mind. 4:30 p.m. Saturday, and This is a very slow AX Saturday, much slower than what you would expect, I think. So Thursday was definitely the busiest day, I think, for like everyone, which is so strange, but I guess not strange because it was 4th of July. If Thursday was 100%, I would say Friday was about 80%, and then Saturday is about the same as Friday. So it's not too much of a difference, but it's still like you would expect Saturday to be the busiest, and it's definitely not busy at all. There's like very long stretches of nothing happening. But even though I say that, we're still selling out of stuff. So things are moving just slower than you would expect. Yay!
AX is obliterating me.
It's obliterating Lynn.
Everyone, I'm hallucinating. It's so bad.
You're hallucinating? What are you seeing?
Sans Undertale.
Sans Undertale. So I've mostly been spending Sunday walking around and buying stuff. So first I got this lanyard. This is made from upcycled kimonos. So I really like lanyards that are made from real fabric, so Rita Designs. Next I got this cleaning cloth and this scrunchie from Leah Tanuko Wardrobes. I bought from her before and I really like the artistry of her designs. They're very intricate and I like tigers because I'm Year of the Tiger. I got an Ayato made standee from Miele and also an Ayato from Miele and also this Boot Hill. I also stopped by Julianne's table. This is my first time meeting Julianne, but I watch every single one of her videos, and if you watch Artist Ellie vlogs, you should definitely watch hers. Next, I also got this set of orb charms from Robo Dumpling. Robo has my favorite style in the world, so I was so happy to have these. I also got this shirt from Pepperoncini. I've shopped there before, I just really like their stuff. And I also got this sticker. And I got Senshi from Helen. I also got a bunch of prints from Zai Zai. I don't know how to say their username, but I got this Kimetsu no Yaiba poster, this Kaiju poster. I love Kaiju number 8, by the way. It's a Spy Family one. Honestly, when I look at Zai's work, I'm like, I'm gonna collect this to use as reference. Like I can look at it online, but I'm thinking about making like a physical portfolio to keep like posters that I buy in so that I can look at them and reference them and just like make my own art book, because this is like so my taste. Okay, so AX is officially over. This is the state of the table. I did my best to restock, but you know what? It's fine to sell out on Sunday. Someone also bought the Stein. We also sold out the orb standees actually on day one. And somehow my display got fucked up, so I'll have to figure out how to make that better next time. And also INFP sold out. So I made basically nearly double the amount of profit as I did last year, I think. I haven't counted yet, but it's almost there. And I think the things that changed were obviously placement. I am smack dab in the middle of Artist Alley, so I think the traffic is good everywhere, but in the middle it's especially good. Another thing is I just have a lot more stuff. I think I invested in my art a lot more this year, so I just got better at art and I have better prints, more timely prints. And also the stamp rally kind of carried, especially on day one. I think our prices are so cute and it really boosted our sales. So my goal this AX was to price things to move. My goal was to move a lot of stock. So I put these at $5. I was walking around doing some like analysis of other tables. I saw that a lot of people had their small prints going for $10 up to $15. And you can do what you feel is best for your business model. But for me, I think making them cheap and incentivizing people to buy 3 so that the minimum like spend is about $15 was correct for the kind of art I do. Okay, it's time to pack up now. Let's do it. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. This is the section of the video where I start to get really analytical about what exactly happened, not just for you, but also for me, so that I can like clearly articulate and review so that we can keep growing. So here I've put 4 kind of key conventions in my history so far. So AX of last year, Anime Boston of this year, and Anime NYC of last year. So up until this point, Anime Boston and Anime Expo of last year have been my best conventions ever, so I labeled them with a 100%. Compared to that, Anime Expo of this year was about 200 or about 180% of those 2 conventions, and Anime NYC was about 25% of my best convention. This is talking like gross revenue, not profit. So to give you some stats on the amount of stock that I ended up selling, I think I way overestimated how many big prints I was going to sell. I brought way too many. On average, I sold about 18 each of these big prints. My best seller was this Game Night Penacony one with 44 sold of that one. And then on average for my postcards, I sold 80 of each. My best seller being Dungeon Meshi, I sold 155 of those ones. So I way underestimated how many small things I would need to bring and way overestimated how many big things to bring. I also way overstocked charms. I think on average, the popular characters sold about 20 of each, and the not so popular characters were around like 7 of each. So I have to say, thinking about it this way, I don't think the amount of stock that I sold was necessarily that different between these conventions. Is probably the fact that I got to have an entire table to myself. So, you know, the fact that I had 50% of the table to display my things at AX and Anime Boston while selling similar amounts of stuff resulted in that 100% revenue. Whereas since I had the whole table to myself, I was able to double my revenue this time. So I do think having the entire table helped. However, I don't think having the whole table is everything. If you're not able to fill the whole table, it won't matter. Or if you have like products that no one wants, it also won't matter how much space you have. For example, at NYC, I think I failed pretty spectacularly that time because of multiple reasons. One, for this convention, I think people were mostly looking at the things on the table. And the only thing I had on that table was like this little postcard stand, which was half filled. People were not really looking back here at the big print setup because we put it behind our chairs. And since my prints are pretty detailed, it was very difficult to see them. So effectively, I was just relying on like these things to make me money. And also I didn't prepare anything new for this convention either, which was a big mistake. I think it's a pretty big mistake to think that you can just roll up at a convention and make bank. Usually, you know, effort is rewarded in these sorts of situations. For example, this year I had a ton of new things that were not at previous conventions. For example, just between last year of AX and this year AX, I had this many new things. And my new things were the ones that are making the most money. This is kind of a difficult thing to talk about because it's like fan art does have a relatively short shelf life. You know, something might be hype right now and you sell a ton of prints, but the next convention, it's like a flop because no one cares about it anymore. I think this can be like a disadvantage and an advantage because it's going to force you to keep on making new things, keep on making your art better, keep on challenging yourself. But it's also a little bit tiring knowing that you need to keep making new things in order to catch the market. It was honestly kind of intimidating seeing everyone's catalog and seeing basically everyone have the exact same fandoms and the exact same merch. Like, I cannot tell you how many people had like Honkai Star Rail merch, Dungeon Meshi merch. If you're not offering something extremely like different or unique, it'll be very difficult to compete with like half the artist alley that's making the same merch. So I think in the future, I'm going to try to create illustrations of maybe shows from my childhood that I know that other people also really like. Or I think that my style actually is pretty competitive since not very many people are doing like group illustrations like this. But doing conventions for like this past year has kind of taught me that that is like really where my strength lies. When doing Artist Alley, it's really easy to feel FOMO, especially when you see your friends, your peers doing a certain type of merch. And you're like, oh, maybe I should try that. And I think it's okay to try to see if you're good at it and see if like people actually like it. For example, I tried out charms. I don't think I'm really like a little knickknack or charm person. I think clearly people are way more into my prints and postcards. Another thing that I really considered for Anime Expo specifically is I did self-serve for the first time, right? Self-serve as in like I put the postcards in this postcard stand so that people could grab them. Because I was noticing at my previous conventions, I had a display postcard up and people would point to them to tell me which ones they wanted and I would grab them for them. AX, I know from experience, goes very quickly and it's easy for crowds to form. So the faster you get through the customers, the better. And it is simply faster for people to grab the postcards than for me to get them for them. And I think once people grab the postcards and feel their texture and are holding them, it might be a little bit more of an easy buy. Like I said, I also priced them at $5 with buy 3 get 1 free. And I priced my big posters at $20. Walking around, I did notice that a lot of people were pricing their large things at $25 and their smaller things maybe at like $8 or $10 or even $15. For me, I just want to price things so that it's easy to move. I want to like have a lot of stock and also get rid of a lot of stock. I want to make it easy for people to buy things, essentially like remove as much friction as possible. I just think it's easier to pull out a $5 bill or like 3 $5 bills than to like have to make change or to wonder if you're getting a good deal by spending $10 on one small thing. I was making very equal amounts of cash and card transactions. It was basically 50-50 of each. I also do think having a pretty banger stamp rally helped a lot. Both me and Xiao is the one who organized this whole thing. We both made double last year's AX. I'm not sure about the other 3 people, but I think they also did well. We had about 200 prizes and I think 170 people finished the stamp rally. This was the first time I've been in a stamp rally and it was a pretty good experience. So that was kind of a basic summary of why I think I surpassed my best convention by so much. I think all things considered, this was a very chill AX. And there were lots of people to thank for that. First of all, my helper Vivi. Second of all, Pixel Imaging for doing live restocks. That's always an amazing service. And then thirdly, there was an Artist Alley volunteer who was in the chat like at all times, like instantly addressing everyone's issues. It felt really good knowing that a volunteer was like actively monitoring everyone's concerns. And then obviously thank you to anyone who visited, new people, old people, people who are like from shockingly different eras of my life that I'm always surprised to see, but I'm always grateful to see. So there are some things I want to do better for the next future conventions in general. One of them is to be more friendly. If you watch my videos, you can kind of understand them a little bit awkward sometimes, but I do want to be able to express more that I like seeing people. I kind of realized that I don't even say hi to people when they come up to my table, so I'm going to try to work on that. Like just try to be more friendly in general. There are so many people who stop by who like watch my videos or took my classes. I want to make some sort of like freebie in the future or like some kind of small gift for anyone who comes up to mention that. So hopefully I'll have that by the next convention, which will be Anime NYC. So yes, I will be back at ANYC with a vengeance. It's going to be better this time. So if you are in NYC and going to this convention, stop by. I'll probably have something free for you. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, which will be coming soon.